What's up everyone, it's Iceman Oz, aka Jay, and in today's video I got for you guys the possibility of a World War III game for the next Battlefield game coming in 2016, so let's talk about it. I was thinking about this and it really came to my thought that it would be somewhat of a decent idea, mainly due to the fact that it can be set in any time frame because, well, World War III hasn't happened. But it could be a positive just based upon that because the developers could set in things that they'd like to add to the game, while at the same time I feel like it would maintain that believability because world wars happen, and I'm not going to say, but it could happen again in the future, and you know, it would have that believability factor because I feel like what a lot of futuristic shooters miss out on is it loses that connection that games like World War II and World War I and modern day have, because it's you can't really be wrapped up in a world that I feel that it just doesn't exist. Now, you could say things like Star Wars and a bunch of plethora of things that, you know, are just sci-fi, but when it comes to Battlefield, I feel like it's really imperative because you're so connected to the game that it's something that's believable, and I think that's what a lot of people don't really realize when going into creating shooters for their audience, is that we want a game that's believable. You aren't going to be shooting guys with laser guns in the next 2 years or something, you know, it has to be believable. Now, the comparison should be drawn to World War II and World War I. So let's start off with World War I. What would be the positives of having it in World War I? Now, we know that it would be trench warfare, but a lot of the vehicles just simply wouldn't be that good because back in those times, the vehicles weren't as effective, obviously, as they are now, or even World War II. Now, if you think about it like that, that means it would be an infantry-based game, which I would be fine with, but I know a lot of people would not like that, but I honestly am a fan of infantry-based games because I feel like it really decides who is the better player in terms of their reflexes and skill. I feel like a lot of the time when you add vehicles to the game, a lot of the time they won't be balanced in the way that you wish, so that doesn't really affect me, but I know at the same time, for people who are fans of the vehicles, World War I don't think is the preference for them. So World War II, what is the good thing about that? I feel like that's the in-between stage, right? There are enough weapons to have decent vehicular gameplay, while at the same time not being too far over the top in terms of its infantry. So that's probably the best bet. Although, as stated previously, my preference is modern day, and that does tie into World War III. And you could acclaim it to things that are happening in real life, and that would go towards that believability factor that we were talking about previously. So, with that being said, let me know in the comments section below what era would be best for the next Battlefield game. Now, I think that World War III would be an interesting option. It would be something that's pretty much unexplored. I know other games have explored it, but I think that it would be an interesting option, and you could keep it in what I think is the preferential modern day. Because of games like Battlefield 3, that's where my preference lies, because I had such a great time with Battlefield 3. But with that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, but hopefully enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, share, subscribe, and peace.